Now we get to the tricky one, the last layer. Now, the last layer will have whatever color you have, which just happens to be yellow, and many of its corner pieces. So first, you want to make sure that you have this little L. Sometimes you'll start off with this little L just like I did. Sometimes you won't start off with this L. If you don't start off with this little L, or you start off with a straight line, it doesn't matter. It's exactly the same moves. So, if you don't have a little L, or you do have a little L, or you have a straight line of yellows, first what you want to do is find one of the sides and match up their corresponding colors. It doesn't matter if the other one doesn't match up. For people who, for none of them that have it, then just bear with me. So with this little L, we want to match up one of the colors. It's okay that the color doesn't match this center. As long as one of them does, it's okay. Now we want to get this little L up in this top corner where I have it, up in the top left-hand corner. Okay, now for everybody who has it, you want to do this move for people who don't have the little L, for people that do have the L, and for people that have the straight line. What you want to do is turn the front. Then you want to turn the right, turn the top, turn the right back down, turn the top back, and turn the front back. So now, the people who did not have any L now have an L. People who had an L now have a straight line. People who had a straight line now have a white cross. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a yellow cross. I'm sorry. We're trying to get a yellow cross. So for people that didn't have any little L, now that you do, line up one of those colors to match up. Do that same move we just did. For people that had that corner, you should have the straight line. And people who had the straight line and now have the yellow cross, just hold on for a second. Don't follow this step. For the people who now have the L, put the L up in the top right-hand corner. For people that have the straight line, make sure one of the sides matches up. If both of them match up, that's great. That's even better. If they don't, it's okay. So for people with the straight line and the little L up in the top left-hand corner, do exactly the same move you just did. Turn the face, turn the right up, turn the top up, turn the top left, turn the right back down, turn the top to the right, and then turn the whole face backwards. Now, people who had that little L now have a straight line. People who had the straight line now have the yellow cross. For people who now have the straight line, do exactly the same move and you will get the yellow cross. Okay, so now what we want to do is match up the center pieces so that each of the corner pieces, just like we solved on the white cross, each of them matched up with their corresponding color. That's what we're going to want to do with these. Okay, so here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to find two of them that match up with each other. So you might have two that match up, two of their corner pieces match up with their centers across from each other. But we want to get them is to get them adjacent, just like these red and blues. We want them to get them to look like this. So if you have one of them that matches up with the side and is across from the other that matches up, just like this one, or if you have them already adjacent, it's the same move. What you're going to want to do is one of the easiest moves is turn the right up, the top left, the right back down, the top left again, the right back up, turn the top twice, once, twice, and turn it back down. Now you should have people who had them across from each other, two matching centers up across from each other. You now have two matching ones. Let me turn this. You now have two matching ones adjacent to each other, just like this, and your other two shouldn't match up. For people who had two of them adjacent from them, we're on this step, so just follow this. what you want to do is once you get them adjacent from each other, what you're going to want to do is make sure that one of them is in the back, while the other one is to the right of you, and these other two are on your left and front. What you want to do is do exactly the same move. Turn the right up, the top left, bottom, right down, top left one more time, right up, top left twice, and turn it back down. Turn the top one more time, and now each of them should be oriented. If you had each of them oriented from the beginning, that is great and perfect. Okay, now finally, what we want to do is solve these corner pieces, just like we did. Sorry, that's my phone. Sorry about that. You're going to hear that in the background. Okay, what we want to do is solve the corner pieces now. That's so annoying. How we solve the corner pieces is sort of just like how we solve these, except there's a harder algorithm. Okay, so what you want to do is look at each of your corner pieces. Now you want to find one that's in the correct spot with the correct colors, but it's just not oriented correctly. So like this one, you want to find one like this with red, yellow, and blue, which is in the right spot of yellow, blue, and red. Sometimes none of them will be in the right spots, but that's okay. It's the same moves for no matter what you have. So you're going to want to find one that is in the right space. If you don't have one in the right space, just follow along with this, and then you will have one in the right space. What you want to do is turn the top, turn the right up, turn the top back, and for the first time ever solving the cube, you turn the left side up. You make sure that that white comes back, bring the right back down, line up those whites again, and bring it back down. Now, you will still have the one that you started out with in the correct spot. For people who didn't, you now have one, and just keep looking around the cube until you find one. Now, you want to do that exact same step until each one of these corner pieces is in the correct spot, but just not oriented correctly. Keep doing that exact same move we just did, making sure that the piece that is in the right space but not oriented is in the bottom right hand corner. This one has green, but there's no green, so we got to keep doing it. So we turn the top, turn the right, turn back the top, turn the left back up, turn the top back to match up the whites, bring it back down, match up the whites again, and bring it back down once again. Continue doing this until each one is in the correct spot with the correct colors where it needs to be. Just like this. So now each corner piece is in the correct spot, but it's just not oriented correctly. Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is solve these. And that's pretty easy because it's doing the exact same thing you've been doing. Okay, so now what we want to do is solve these corners. Sorry, I ran out of room on my previous SD card, so I had to switch SD cards. Okay, now to solve these, each of them should be in the correct spot. So now to solve them is you just want to pick a side. It doesn't matter what side you start with, just pick it. Then keep your thumb in the two middles of that color and that corner. Now that you put your thumb there, do not move it until the cube is solved. If you do, you're gonna mess yourself up and it's not gonna solve. Okay, now what you want to do is to solve the corner pieces. Here's how you solve them. You bring it down, you bring the bottom to the left, you bring the top back up, and then you bring the bottom to the right. Now, it's okay, you're going to want to do this one more time. That's the algorithm, you do that twice. So we're going to do it one more time. We're going to bring it down, we're going to bring it over, bring it back up, and then bring the back over. Always remember to bring the bottom back to the right. You would not believe how many times I forgot to do that and screwed up the entire cube. Okay, so now that we did that, the corner piece is now in the correct spot. The blue matches the blue, the orange matches with the orange, and the yellow matches with the yellow. That's great. Do not worry that the rest of your cube, it now looks completely destroyed. It is okay. It will fix itself. Now, here's the part that you probably won't like, and it'll probably mess up the whole rest of your cube, but it's okay. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to take your next corner and bring it over to your bottom right. It's okay, the corners and everything is messed up. It is okay. Now you want to do is do exactly the same thing. You want to do this algorithm as many times until you match the yellow up with the yellow. Because the corner pieces, the corner colors are going to be different, but that's okay. Just make sure that that yellow matches that yellow, and then when we get to those, what we do is bring the right down, bottom to the left, right back up, bottom to the right. One more time, bottom right down, bottom to the left. Now the yellows match up, right up. Do not forget to turn the bottom back. Make sure you bring this bottom back. Okay, now the greens match up, the oranges match up, and the yellow matches the yellow. It's okay that it doesn't correspond with the correct color. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It will be fine in the end. What you do is you bring your next one over down to the bottom right hand corner. Same thing we've been doing. What you're going to want to do, bring the right down, bring the bottom to the left, bring the right back up, bring the bottom right, bring the right down, bring the bottom to the left, bring the right up. Don't forget to bring the bottom right back. Now the yellow still isn't matched up with the yellow. That's okay. Just keep doing it until the yellow matches up with the yellow and the corresponding colors match up with each other. So I bring to the right, bring the bottom, bring the right back up, bring the bottom back to the right. One more time. Right down, bottom left, right back up. We bring always the bottom back to the right. Now your colors should correctly match each, match. They're centered, and the yellows still match up with the yellow. Make sure that you still got your fingers on the same two squares that you've had them the whole time. Do your final one. Do exactly the same thing we've been doing for all the other corner pieces. And you do that one more time. Keep doing it until the yellows match up. You might have to do it maybe 3 times, but it's okay. Now the yellows match up. Always make sure to bring the bottom back. Now your yellow matches your yellow, your blue matches your blue, your red matches your red. You have now completed the final layer. Now all you have to do is turn the top cube so that all of the colors match up. And you have now successfully completed the Rubik's Cube. If you missed any part, if you got confused at any part, please go back to the video, pause it, watch each step, watch every turn that I do, and just keep doing it until you get it. It will take some time to remember each one, but once you got it, you got it. Remember, colors might be on different sides, but it's the same algorithm. You do the same moves, just depending on which side you do. Just remember that. It's still the same moves. You have successfully completed the Rubik's Cube.
All I ever wanted was to see you smile.